What if I told you that one pit stop at Monza might have shaken the very foundations of McLaren? What started as a routine strategy call has now spiraled into a storm of controversy, splitting fans, sparking debates among legends, and leaving even the drivers themselves uneasy. Oscar Piastri's sharp response over team radio revealed cracks that could define this championship battle. Was it loyalty, betrayal, or just racing? Stay tuned, because this drama is far from over and the fallout could change everything. Oscar Piastri had done everything right. Calm on the radio, precise with every lap. He was driving with the kind of composure you expect from a seasoned champion, not a young contender chasing his first crown. His pit stop was lightning quick, 1.9 seconds, near perfect. Seconds later, his teammate Lando Norris pulled in for his own stop. But while Piastri's crew executed flawlessly, Norris's pit went wrong. A sticky front left tire cost him nearly 4 seconds. When he emerged, he was behind Piastri. In racing, that is usually where the story ends. Bad luck in the pits, bad timing, but fair consequence. Yet this time, the story was only beginning. The pit wall lit up. Will Joseph, Norris's race engineer, had told him before the stops that there would be no undercut. The plan was simple: cover Ferrari's Charles Leclerc, manage the sequence, and avoid a fight between teammates. Norris had trusted that assurance, but when his stop went wrong, the order flipped. That was when Tom Stallard, Piastri's engineer, came over the radio with a message that stunned many. Oscar was told to give the place back. Piastri's reply was sharp and unmistakably frustrated. He reminded his engineer that they had agreed slow pit stops were part of racing. They had agreed that no undercut meant no manipulation. So what had changed? Still, Piastri complied. He let Norris back through. It was the action of a disciplined driver, one willing to swallow his frustration for the bigger picture. But make no mistake, the bitterness lingered, and it could be heard in his voice. After the race, Andrea Stella, McLaren's team principal, defended the call. To him, this was not about favoritism or manipulation. It was about principle. The team had promised that pit sequencing would not alter track position. Norris had been guaranteed no undercut. When the slow stop accidentally reversed their order, Stella argued that the fair move was to restore the baseline. To Stella, this was not gifting Norris the position. It was honoring a commitment. And in Formula One, commitments carry the same weight as contracts. Not everyone bought that explanation. Former world champion Damon Hill pointed out how messy the situation looked. He even launched a poll for fans, asking if they supported the decision. The results were overwhelming. Most fans hated it. They felt McLaren had robbed Piastri of a position he had earned on merit. In their eyes, team orders should only be accepted into cases when a title fight absolutely demands it, or when strategy is crystal clear. Anything else feels like manipulation. Then came the voice of Mark Webber, Piastri's mentor and a man who knows all too well the pain of team politics. During his years at Red Bull, Webber clashed with Sebastian Vettel over favoritism and broken promises. When Webber says he sees warning signs, people listen. He argued that the call at Monza could be the first hint of a pattern, whether intentional or not. Webber's message was clear: even small cracks in fairness can grow into gaping wounds. The backdrop makes this even more dramatic. Oscar Piastri isn't just another promising driver. He's chasing history. 9 victories already put him level with Webber and ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. He's hunting legends like Alan Jones and Jack Brabham, aiming to become the first non-European world champion since Jacques Villeneuve in 1997. Every call McLaren makes now is not just about one race. It is about whether this young Australian's rise will be remembered as the clean triumph of a prodigy or as a story tainted by politics. Meanwhile, Lando Norris finds himself caught in the middle of a storm. Too many fans, he is McLaren's golden child, the driver they believe deserves his first world title after years of dedication. To others, he is the beneficiary of favoritism. But Norris himself has tried to diffuse the tension. He admitted openly that he admires the harder, ruthless edge of champions like Max Verstappen, but he insisted he wants to win his own way, clean, honest, without games. That honesty has been his shield against accusations and has helped keep McLaren's garage from splitting apart. The contrast between the two teammates is fascinating. Piastri, calm and measured, rarely showing emotion even when provoked. Norris, fiery, expressive, wearing his passion openly. Both are fast enough to beat the other on any given Sunday. And when do drivers overlap so closely? The team's survival depends not just on performance, but on communication and trust. If one of them starts to believe the balance has shifted, even slightly, the entire structure can begin to wobble. Fans, of course, thrive on controversy. They look for villains. Some paint Webber as the bitter advisor stirring trouble. Others accuse McLaren of protecting Norris at the expense of Piastri. Still others see Piastri as the wronged young champion, robbed of glory. The truth is less sensational and more fragile. A team in a title fight must have rules that both drivers view as equal. The moment one doubts it, performance suffers. And you do not need a villain to see the danger in what happened at Monza. Jacques Villeneuve added his own perspective. He argued that Webber's involvement is not a problem, but an asset for Piastri. Having someone who has lived through the politics of fighting a superstar teammate, Villeneuve suggested, could be invaluable in navigating these tricky waters. At the same time, he warned against over-dramatizing. This is not Red Bull 2010, he said. McLaren is not yet built on deep favoritism. The balance can still be kept intact if the team handles things carefully. That balance, however, grows harder to maintain with every race. The championship standings have tightened. Piastri left Monza with his lead cut to just 31 points. Still healthy, but the psychological shift matters. When a driver feels robbed of even 3 points after delivering a clean, sharp performance, the mental edge erodes, confidence slips, and in Formula One, confidence is everything. The deeper issue here is what might be called the social contract inside McLaren. It is not just about rules on paper. It is about belief. Do the drivers truly believe that every decision will be applied equally? Do they believe that no matter who benefits, fairness will be consistent? If the answer is yes, McLaren has to weapons firing on full power. If the answer is no, then the title fight becomes twice as hard. So what principle should guide them? Should pre-race agreements always be honored, even when luck flips the order? Or should races be allowed to unfold naturally, with fortune good or bad deciding the outcome? There is no perfect solution, but one truth is universal. Clarity kills controversy. If McLaren wants peace, it must set the rules before the race, publish them to both drivers, and apply them without hesitation. Do that, and trust will grow. Fail to do it, and every pit stop, every radio call, every decision will be questioned as favoritism. The future is easy enough to predict. Piastri will remain calm in public, say the right things, and keep stacking points. Norris will insist he has moved on and keep fighting with everything he has. McLaren will announce reviews, adjustments, and procedures. But the real test will come not in meetings or statements, but in the heat of the next race at Qatar and beyond. Each time the pit board goes out, each time the radio crackles to life, trust will either be rebuilt or broken further. That is why Monza was about more than 3 points. It was about whether McLaren can survive its own storm. Titles are not won only on pace. They are won on trust, on belief, on the culture within the garage. Every instruction, every pit call, every promise carries weight when margins are this fine. The fastest way to calm a storm is not soft words. It is to set the rule, commit to it before the race, and prove it applies both ways. Do that, and McLaren will emerge stronger. Fail, and Monza's echo will haunt them all the way to Abu Dhabi. So, what's your verdict? Did McLaren do the right thing by honoring their pre-race promise to Lando Norris? Or did they strip Oscar Piastri of a result he had earned fair and square? This isn't just about points, it's about trust, unity, and the future of a team chasing glory. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because your voice matters in this debate. And if you love dramatic deep dives into the politics and passion of Formula One, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because the biggest twists are still to come. Thanks for watching.